As high schoolers, we spend our time juggling school and sports, sleep and homework, stressing over our busy schedules. Instead of juggling being a problem, why don't I teach you to have fun juggling with tennis balls? Juggling is a fun and simple activity that everyone can do. With just a little time spent practicing the basics, it's easy to learn. Those fundamentals include a strong and steady base, smooth, fluid hand movements, active eyes, and the ability to put it all together. With some time spent practicing the fundamentals, juggling is an easy to learn activity that everyone can do. Now, like most things in life, juggling starts with a strong and steady base. You need to be able to move and adjust to the balls because it's going to make it easier to keep the juggle going. You're going to want to start with your feet shoulder width apart and a slight bend in your knees. The most important part is that you're comfortable here. Next, you're going to want to move on to your posture. You're going to want to make sure that you're standing nice and tall with your chest high and back and that your chin is up and your head is level. Finally, you want to make sure that you're rooted through the balls of your feet so you can move and adjust to the balls. If you stand flat-footed, you're going to want to sway instead of moving and adjusting your whole body to the balls. If you move, it's going to make it easier on your hand movements. Now, hand movements are the most important and most basic part of juggling, but they're often the part that people struggle with the most. When you're first thinking of how to juggle, you want to think of two outward circles. So you're going to have your hands moving outwards from the middle. The next thing to remember is that they're always going to be opposite from each other. If one's high, the other's low. If one's in the middle, one's on the outside, and it just keeps going. You have two outward circles moving from each other. Once you get that down and become comfortable with it, you want to move on to a new drill called the 1-2 drill. So you're going to have two tennis balls, one in each hand. And then you're going to practice using your whole body, going one over and one under from each other. So I'm going to start with my right hand, throwing one up and one under and catching it. You want to practice that until you're comfortable with it, and then switch to the other side with your left hand, going over and under and catching it. Once you become comfortable with that, you're going to want to move and grab a third ball. So you're going to have two in one hand and one in the other, and you're going to do the same thing as you did before, going one over and one under, but then you're going to want to add a juggle to it. So you're going to see if you can go 3 times. So go 1, 2, 3, catch it, try and go 4, go 1, 2, 3, 4, and catch it. And then that's it. You've officially juggled. You've done what you set out to do, but it's not really impressive unless you can keep it going. And the key to keeping it going is all in the eyes. Your eyes are the secret to keeping a juggle going and not dropping any balls. The most important thing to remember when you're juggling is to keep your eyes off your hands. Your hands are irrelevant. Once you get used to the hand motions and you can trust your eyes, you don't need to look at them. It's only going to distract you from what's important. What's important is seeing the balls in front of you. When I juggle, I let my eyes glaze over the area where the balls are going to be. This about a foot in front of my face. It's kind of like that hidden picture. You have to let your eyes glaze over so you can see everything at once. You're also going to want to make sure you keep your gaze high, right below the peak of the balls, so you can see all of them at once. If you're not seeing everything, you're doing it wrong. Now, once you have that mastered, you have all 3 parts together, the only thing left to do is to put it all together. So you can juggle how I taught you, keeping it nice and regular. You can keep it going higher, tossing the balls, nice and high. You can bring it down closer to earth, doing it small and quicker. You can even learn different hand movements, such as doing it in and out. Now, that's it. With some time spent practicing the fundamentals, juggling is an easy to learn activity that everyone can do. Like most things in life, juggling starts with a strong and steady base. From there, smooth and fluid hand movements are key to keeping a juggle going. Without your eyes active in seeing everything, it'd be almost impossible to juggle. Once you have all these fundamentals, the only thing left to do is practice. Just like your busy lives, juggling can seem hectic and chaotic, but with some time spent practicing, you can learn to juggle tennis balls just as good as you juggle your own hectic lives.